All right. So let me go back just a little bit. This guy is saying that, naturally what he says about the feminist movement, it's not really what's going on. It's not our fault. Now, this dude is saying Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. He is absolutely 100% wrong. He's absolutely 100% wrong. Pookie and Ray Ray represent the low-hanging fruit in any community, not the black community. It represents a man who, not even just by his own trials and tribulations, but by his effort in general, does not reach high enough. That is, every single ethnic group deals with that. Every single one deals with that. Every single ethnic group has a degenerate class. This is going to be a great conversation. For those of y'all that want to come up, I'm going to really break this video like all the way down. So I'm going to drop the link in the middle. Y'all come up and talk to me. I do got some questions for y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you saw that Dr. Umar interview with Daily Wrap-Up crew. All right, they made some good points. Dr. Umar made a lot of cutoffs. He was cutting them off. But we're going to go through it bit by bit. Let me know if y'all hear the video on y'all side, and we're going to chop it up like that, man. We're going to get to it. This Umar video did give me a lot of thoughts. So we're going to break it down as we watch together. All right. Bet. All right.
If we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault, how we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
Here's the question we got to make.
That?
Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make, feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay,
it's an argument that says I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna pause right there. Let me make myself a little bigger, okay? Let me pause right there, man. I'm doing this straight off the top. I don't have any script or nothing because these particular type of interviews always provoke thought for many of us. And the same thing I said on Dr. Umar's with the Daily Wrap-Up crew last night when I jumped on their live late last night. You can tell what he's doing. This man has a timeline that I don't think y'all are hip to it yet. This dude has a timeline in which he does this stuff. Every summer, he goes on the Breakfast Club to promote and get donation for his school that will never open. The never-ending opening. I'm sorry, not the never-ending, the never-opening school. That's what I'm calling it now. Until the doors of the FDMG Academy open, we're calling it the never-opening school. Man, you could get school started online and wait for the building. First off, you could get school started online if you really cared about the knowledge going in people's head. You've wasted years. But this is very disingenuous what he's doing because he flip-flops. When it's off season and he's not really collecting many donations, he flip-flops to start advocating against women and letting women know what's on his mind as a man and letting them know where their failures are. But since his largest base is women, he flip-flops. And all of a sudden, we're the leaders of the community who have to take responsibility for kids we did not birth. Children we're not responsible for raising. But yeah, so I'm a director at an online school. That's why I'm like, well, we have multiple campuses, but you know what I mean? That's why I'm like, you can get school started online. I can help you with that. Regulatory issues, I do that. I can get a curriculum. I can do that. I've written curriculum before. So I don't know. Let's chop it up.
I'm gonna fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative.
That's not what we're making excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my life.
Back to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason
boom. Number one. All right. This is the first fail. This is the first fail. Hold on real quick. Sorry about that. That was JR. He tried to figure out. Oh, damn. He's not by his computer, so he thought I didn't upload the video. But let's continue. This is the narrative that this is what he does. This is what he pushes. All right. So let me go back just a little bit. This guy is saying that, naturally what he says about the feminist movement, it's not really what's going on. It's not our fault. Now, this dude is saying Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. He is absolutely 100% wrong. He's absolutely 100% wrong. Pookie and Ray Ray represent the low-hanging fruit in any community, not the black community. It represents a man who, not even just by his own trials and tribulations, but by his effort in general, does not reach high enough. That is, every single ethnic group deals with that. Every single one deals with that. Every single ethnic group has a degenerate class. So when he says Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist, he's doing the same thing most black women do, is try to put every single man through a moral litmus test. Every single man through a moral litmus test, saying we should all be millionaires. We should all be high-ranking dudes. No, that never happens. There shouldn't be any Pookie and Ray Rays. What are you talking about? Crazy. Let's continue, though.
Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that? And she don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie. And that's what we're trying to say.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
I worked too hard in my life.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
Wrong. All right, fellas, I need y'all to help me out on this. I cannot even think about the live stream that I was on, because I love breaking down. This type of rhetoric. I love it because Pookie and Ray Ray exist in every single group. But when you explain to a black woman, especially, the type of man that's available to her, that's willing to be monogamous, that has a stable job and can keep it, when you break down everything a woman needs to maintain a stable relationship with the man, that is not the dude she wants. They choose them. This dude literally does what the women do. Whenever it comes to women and their choices, they behave like they're lifeless robots. They are not lifeless robots. They advocated for the ability to make their own choices, and they do. They are just the worst decision makers in regards to romantic relationships. The worst decision makers ever. When you allow them to choose for themselves, that is what they do. They do not want stability. They want chaos. It is exciting to them. Do not put that on black men. There are literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of black men sitting there waiting for their black queen. They get their hair cut every 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so. They go to work every day. They don't give their employers problems. They're in the middle class technically. They work overtime, so whatever they make on paper isn't even correct because all they have is time on their hands. They go to the club, have a drink, and they're just looked over. Again, men that are ready to be monogamous, ready to give these women what they want, ready for a stable relationship, want kids, non-abusive, has a stable job, can keep a stable job. In fact, most black men are working in hierarchical pay structures that have their raises set in already. Have their raises already set in. Military, police, public administration, public city job, public works. Some of the best 401k plans you will ever find because they're state and city run jobs. But then the women don't want these men. What the hell is he talking about? He's playing to his base. Let's continue.
Dr. Umar,
Men supposed to make the raise the boys.
Right. We as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you're talking about right now.
What are we doing for the young brothers in the street? So
what you mean, mentoring them? Now I mean he's a great father.
Mm-hmm. I ain't talking that's individual. That's good, but that's individualism.
Yeah.
What are we doing collectively as men to change the trajectory for black boys in the streets right now?
I
Nothing.
We're being a voice.
Talking.
All right, y'all. If you are a person that thinks that you have personal accountability to street boys in whatever hood is closest to you, put a 1 in the chat. I'm not even going to speculate. If you are somebody that loves your community so much that you think you have to go out there and risk your life to talk to boys on the street, put a 1 in the chat. If you're just one of those people. If you are somebody who believes it is not your damn job, and that is a micro Band-Aid solution to what is actually happening, put a 2 in the chat. I don't even have enough 2s. It is not my job. I take care of my own family. Again, watch what Dr. Umar is doing. Watch very closely to what this man is doing. At every single turn, he advocates for single mothers to absolve them of all of their mistakes and let the men take over. I said this on the show last night. Dr. Umar also advocates that men need not buy homes in suburbs around other groups of people, but stay in the hood to build with their people and build that area up. I can move my children to the suburbs and buy land and buy multi-level units in the hood to be a part of that gentrification process so I can make sure that wealth is being created for the black community. I can do that. But let me tell you the reality of the situation. All it takes is one time for my son to get beat up, or one time for me to feel like something happening to my daughter. I'm going to shoot everybody out there, and I'm still going to move to the suburbs.